So, hello, I am Shin the Hero,
And I am Old Hunter Rage. What's up?
and you are watching the Dragon Bros, and you are watching us react to fellow Dragon Ball YouTuber, Saiyan Scholar. We've done some collab things with him. I don't know if he's mentioned us. We are a way smaller channel than he is. But like some of the stuff he be saying sometimes, I'm just like, I don't agree. So this is a live reaction to one of his latest videos because this is one of those things where this is a big debate in general in the Dragon Ball community about Kid Buu versus Buuhan, whatever you want to say, Super Buu, and who is the strongest Buu. Like, before we watch the video and everything, I'll give you my 2 cents on it. If Kid Buu is as strong as people say, like Kid Buu, because like the video is suggesting why Kid Buu is still the strongest Majin. If that is true, and if my here's my whole thing on it. If that is true, and you believe Kid Buu is the strongest, what was the point of Goku and Vegeta fusing to become the strongest perfect fighter to fight Super Buu? That's all. I'm like, Buuhan is the pinnacle of Buu. He's the strongest Buu. I don't believe that nonsense that him absorbing people, making them weaker and everything like that. I do agree with people saying that Kid Buu is the most dangerous Buu, like the most chaotic because he's random, but I don't think he's the strongest. I do not think he's the strongest. I mean, Goku said it. He could have beat Kid Buu. He was just giving Vegeta. He thought Vegeta wanted to have a crack at him. That's how I feel. I don't know how Isaac feel. That How do you feel about it?
I mean, you basically took my my point because I was like, um, pretty sure Super Buu with Gohan absorbed took a fused warrior to beat, and Kid Buu was taking on the two halves of that fused character, and it's just like if one of them took a fused character to beat, that automatically makes him stronger. I feel like in my head because it took more to beat him, and even though they were, they made him look like a chump anyway, it's still they still had to fuse to do it. So I don't, I don't really, I don't get the argument. I do agree that Kid Buu is, I would say he's the scariest because he's now he's got like a toddler with destructive capabilities, which is a
Yeah,
terrifying thing to think about.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that makes him scary.
Anybody know
That, but
about toddlers? Oh god, those are nightmares.
but being scarier doesn't make you stronger.
Stronger.
I would say.
Yeah, yeah. Like, and I will even say this too, like, because in the anime, I can't recall if it happened in the manga, which I know a lot of people are probably down in the comments down below will say something about the manga and everything like that. But in the anime, um, when Goku confronts Super Buu, at least Buu absorbed Gotenks. Goku was like, I can't beat him. But the soon as
Mm-hmm.
the fusion defused and he became Piccolo Buu, Goku was like, oh, I don't need to fuse no more. I'm about to wax his ass. So like there's that even too. There's that even too. And the moment when he absorbed Gohan, that's when everything also changed. And Goku was like, "Oh no, I can't beat this man now. He is way too strong." And even
Yep.
when Gohan showed up, Gohan, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like when someone absorbs or takes someone power, and you get that, it shouldn't make you weaker. It should make you stronger, which was shown there. And Kid Buu, the thing about absorption, it's a defense mechanism. It's a thing where Kid Buu, Buu in general, the Majin doesn't die. He doesn't die and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I know it's one of those things. It'll probably be a forever debate who is the strongest Buu. But we about to watch this video. I'm about to watch this video and see Saiyan Scholar's take on it, because he'll probably explain it way better. I don't know if this is a trolling video. This is the first time I'm watching it and everything. So let's go. I'm gonna go ahead. There'll be times where we'll probably pause depending on what he says about it. But well, yeah. Here we about to watch it. So we're about to start.
The decades-old war between the strongest MajinBlue seems to have come to a solid close. Think again. After the Dragon Ball Z anime producer and lead screenwriter Takeo Kayama made an interesting post about the Majin on Twitter recently, the Dragon Ball fandom goes even further beyond in the chaotic Kid Buu versus Buuhan war. But what really is the truth behind what he said, and how does it affect the manga and the Z anime and all other statements? Let's break this down and put together everything we've got to come to a reasonable conclusion. So when it comes to Buuhan overall, he is the strongest Majin through scaling, through phrases in the video games, and of course the main manga continuity. It heavily implies Buuhan is the strongest.
Okay, I'm pausing right here. After he had said Buuhan is the strongest, he clearly said Buuhan is the strongest. He's like by power scaling and all the other stuff. But apparently some dude came out and said something else. I didn't know about this. I mean, I don't follow Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. You can call me old head, a boomer, whatever have you. But I don't be on Twitter like that or anything like that. So apparently there's more information about this. But he clearly just said Buuhan is the strongest. He straight up said that. So I mean, I don't know what else is happening in this video, but he clearly said that. But we're gonna continue watching more.
Takeo was asked which MajinBlue is the most powerful, and he said MajinBlue who absorbed Ultimate Gohan will be the strongest. This was further translated to him saying perhaps the strongest. Then all of a sudden he makes a further tweet saying, I just muttered that Gohan Buu would be the strongest among the transformation forms of Majin Buu. You could easily argue that Kid Buu is not a transformation form of Majin Buu, so maybe he's not considering Kid Buu when he's given his view on the strongest Buu. Kid Buu is pure Buu. He's just himself, not transformed. Either way, I want you to remember this. Takeo is the guy who literally said Z Broly can solo the entire Z villain cast. So before you take his word as God's word, do think about everything as a whole first, because there is a roadblock even with these tweets.
I used to think like that.
However, in the Z anime, Kid Buu is the strongest.
And that's what a lot of fans are ignoring.
Oh, that panel is so popular.
Is one continuity. The manga is one continuity. Things happen in the Z anime that don't happen in the Z manga. Things happen in the movies that don't happen in the series or manga. These are different continuities of Dragon
That's
Ball.
another conversation right there. Janemba versus Buu.
Even if he is the lead screenwriter for the Z anime, it doesn't erase the fact
Kid Buu was stated to be the strongest and stated multiple times in the actual show itself.
That's core evidence because it was actually produced and authorized
in the actual show.
What you watch and read, that is the evidence. And it wasn't stated just once, but multiple times in the show. If Takeo is the big boss for the Z anime,
okay, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it real quick. So the thing about it being stated in the show or like that was a lot of that you can equate to, because he hasn't mentioned if this was the dubbed or the sub. But you could also, because the dub was notorious about mistranslations. To get that out of the way, there was a lot of mistranslation type things. And I know in the show, it said Kid Buu, like, for instance, Supreme Kai had said Kid Buu is the strongest Buu. Like, it's his original form and all that junk. But it doesn't make sense. That right there just doesn't make sense. Now, if memory serves, I mean, this isn't a straight up one for one, like we're getting information and whatnot, doing research and everything like that. The Japanese subs might be different, might say something totally different than what the dub had said. And also, there's multiple dubs. There's multiple dubs, and then there's also 2 different like English dubs also for this, and especially if you want to equate Kai. So I don't. The fact that he's saying that it said it in the show, I don't agree with that. I do not agree with it 100%. I don't. I'm not saying you're wrong, Saiyan Scholar, if you're watching this, but I don't agree with it. That's just me.
Authorized for the Z anime for Kid Buu to be the strongest. Think about that. Either he agreed or someone else more powerful than him authorized it. So either way you want to cut the cake, no matter what's being said nearly 30 years later,
Kid Buu is the strongest Buu in the Z anime.
that was the intention at the time. That's what was produced.
And I feel like
That's
he's
what
trolling
we
every
see
time he
for
goes
nearly
back
30
to that
years.
voice.
You want to retcon it,
Yeah.
but you'll have to create a new show. And that's what a lot of fans are misunderstanding. Buuhan is the strongest overall,
But not in the Z anime.
due to the way the plot and statements work. You cannot change what's been consumed over 30 years. The original Z anime is never going away, and every time you watch it, it will say
Kid Buu is the strongest.
that is
Not
the
every
story that's
time.
going on.
I don't think
Along
every
with an
time.
interview with Akira Toriyama implying Kid Buu is the strongest by concept, not correct in the interviewer's interpretation of Kid Buu being the strongest too, plus tons of material and sources implying Kid Buu is the strongest for that extra support if you want it. This really is a never-ending war, but as long as you know which Buu is the strongest in certain continuities, you don't have to have a war. Does it make sense Kid Buu is the strongest in the Z anime? No. Kid Buu being the strongest in any
Okay.
continuity is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
the Z anime states otherwise, and plot convenient power-ups are enough to cause headaches for us all, but they do happen, and we can't justify or make sense of them. They just happen. There are such things as inconsistencies and bad writing. You can make retcons and tweets all you want. Bad senseless writing can still exist. You can't invalidate it
I
just because it's bad.
100%
Look at
agree.
it like this. If I made
Yeah.
lemon cheesecake 30 years ago, and when you ate it, it was actually strawberry cheesecake, just because now, 30 years later, I said, perhaps it's lemon cheesecake, doesn't change what you consumed or what actually happened.
Kid Buu is a goddamn strong.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Buu is the strongest in the Z anime. Buuhan is stronger overall. That's how it is. I agree feats are very important engaging characters, and they help us understand.
No. Oh, no. I'm pausing this right now. I do not agree feats are important. Feats are not important. Feats are not important, especially gauging on who's a strong character or whatnot. Like, feats are the problem. Like, most of the time, that's what that's what people gauge who can beat who because of a feat, because of what they did and everything like that. Like, I do not agree about that. I 100% don't agree. That's why I don't like stuff like Death Battle, because they put feats and then they try to put freaking math and stuff. I this is stuff like that I don't agree.
The feat Kid Buu did.
Yeah, the feats thing is like it's weird because it's like they're pointing out something that the character did once.
Yeah.
Not talking about like the context of why that character did that or like what state the character was in. Like, you know, it's
like,
not something that the character can just keep doing, you know.
A perfect example is the Superman thing. When people bring up, man, Superman pulled like 7 planets by himself. He had fucking help. He had help. Without Green Lantern, he would not have been able to do that. And if memory serves, I think he was supercharged at that point. There was another thing where Superman held the Big Bang in his hand. There was a reason behind that. And when he lifted the book, there was a book that was ridiculously heavy. I can't remember 100%. There was a reason behind that. There's other stuff. There's reasoning. Like, he just didn't do that just out of no. Now, Golden Age Superman, yeah, when he left Earth, there's a part where he left Earth. He was about to sneeze. He left Earth, went to another universe, and destroyed that universe by sneezing. He was like, "Oh man, glad I didn't destroy our universe." That's a thing. That's a thing. But at the same time, that comes down to writers. It comes down to writers. That's why I throw out feats. It's all, at the end of the day, it's the writers. But getting back to the video.
Right. Story they don't need to perform those feats anymore. For example, Super Saiyan Rage Trunks in the Super anime is far stronger than Super Saiyan God in Battle of Gods. Trunks never produced shockwaves like Goku, but we know through dialogue, story, and scaling that he is more than capable of that level of power. So for Buuhan to be greater than Kid Buu in the Z anime, the feat argument is irrelevant here due to multiple statements of Kid Buu surpassing all Buus before. He's capable.
I
in
jumped the
power
gun.
sense.
Should
Now,
have
with
listened to the
support in
video.
Power scaling, I cannot argue with it. It makes perfect sense. Buuhan is the strongest through scaling.
But in the Z anime,
There is some whole plot convenient power-ups. Even in Dragon Ball Super, Kaioken Goku took on Merge Zamasu alone and overpowered him after fusion. That's a plot convenient power-up that makes absolutely no sense. But we consider it and apply headcanon for Goku's growth after fusion. Things just happen. Yes, Takeo is the lead screenwriter. He said Buuhan is the strongest overall. But did he clarify anime or manga? No. Has he responded to the Kid Buu statements? No. This is 30 years later. The product has been out that long. It would go against the intentions at the time. Whoever put that dialogue in the final product obviously has more ground and rank to do so. Toriyama's interview, yes, it would be incredibly unfair to discredit this, but credit Takeo instead. That would be insanely biased, and it would be insanely biased to assume he's only talking about Frieza because there was a picture of Frieza on the page, but there's clearly no other space to fit other characters. And this is first form Frieza. He's not even the strongest Frieza. That would be terrible to assume that. Furthermore, the interviewer brought up Buu being the strongest. Toriyama responded as whole and answered the question without any correction of that question. This is a solid piece that shows intention of the character of Kid Buu and his power, plus him being the final boss.
and it supports it even more in the Z anime.
No,
We
it
say
doesn't.
something like
Ah, man, that
Toriyama
makes me so
only
mad.
meant Frieza,
It
but I
does.
could definitely say
It
Toriyama
does. It makes me so
manga
mad.
in his tweet. That's how unfair that is. The good thing is we have both. We have multiple continuities. The Z anime is set in stone, though. Badly written statements.
No,
and
I don't think the Z
inconsistencies, but
anime
there
is
you
set
go.
in stone.
It definitely adds ground for Buuhan being the strongest overall, where it's implied.
But not in the Z anime.
And the more he does
Buu
that,
is
the
a
more.
goddamn strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, man.
Maybe you could invalidate one statement or dismiss it in error, but multiple statements multiple times? No. It's set in stone.
In the Z anime.
Anime.
No
No,
matter
it's
what
not.
someone says, no matter if it's Akira Toriyama, it doesn't change what's happened in the actual show 30 years ago. Maybe this opens up for the retcon of Kid Buu being the strongest.
I don't
because
know.
he had
Maybe it's
God
because it's
keys
his
and didn't know
accent.
how to use it.
But it's so
So the Kid
hilarious
Buu
every
versus
time he
Buuhan
goes in.
war will still continue, but the truth is,
That voice.
he really doesn't have to, because it's clear as day Buuhan is the strongest overall.
Except in the
No.
Z anime.
This is a joke. That running joke,
The
man.
Z anime. And if you base any videos off the Z anime, you can definitely use Kid Buu as the strongest Buu. And is my Dragon Ball GT Power Scale series safe?
Of course it is.
All I'm doing is scaling the characters from Kid Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's just a landmark I'm using. That does not change. If
No,
you want
I
Buuhan
haven't
to be
seen
the
that
strongest,
video.
you can. I'm still scaling.
This is a
Super Saiyan
wonderful
3 versus
edited
Kid Buu. It makes
video, though.
absolutely no
I would say
difference.
that.
Yeah.
For anyone who thinks my GT Power Scale is ruined,
Think again.
but even with Takeo's tweets,
Nothing has changed. Kid Buu is a goddamn strawberry cheesecake.
Think again.
Okay. All right. Well,
Oh my gosh.
we are at the end of that. So, what are your thoughts on the video and all that junk? Do the points he brought up were sound? I would say most of the points were I agree.
They were.
Some of the things I don't agree with, like for instance, because what he was arguing or what he was saying was, at the end of the day, it's two different continuities. Kid Buu's the strongest in the anime, and Buuhan is the strongest in the manga or just in general.
Right.
Because that's what he was arguing at the end of the day, or that's what he was presenting at the end of the day. Do you agree with that? Did he sway you one another?
It's weird because the way I took the video was not an answer to the question. It was just him being like, look, we have two different answers to this. Your headache over this, you don't need to have a headache over this anymore. Both of you are right. And it's just like, still, it's weird. Like, I do remember, because for a long time, I was one of the people that said Kid Buu is the strongest Buu form because he is supposedly the original Boo, and is like, there's nothing left in him. He's only got, he's not absorbed anybody or anything like that. It's just Boo by himself, and that's his strongest form. But like, when you really think about it, it feels like that should be the weakest one. And while he's not the weakest one, I still don't. I wouldn't say he's the strongest, because Buuhan had Gohan in him, who just underwent a huge power transformation for himself. Plus, like we said before, it took a fused character between the two strongest characters in the show, the two strongest heroes in the show, to take him down. And while they did do it swimmingly, you can't refute the fact that it took two people to take him down, whereas Kid Buu fought two people at separate times and was bodying both of them multiple times.
I wouldn't say he was bodying Goku.
He wasn't bodying Goku, but he bodied Vegeta.
Yeah, he dropped Vegeta. He did drop Vegeta. He also dropped Fat Buu too. But
he did.
I don't know, man. I still say I mean, even for Vegito, even though this is a whole different discussion in general, like how people say Vegito don't get anything done. The whole point of Vegito was fighting Majin Buu like he was playing with his food. He wasn't playing with his food. The whole point was to get absorbed and free everybody. That was his whole point. That was the whole thing. He had a plan, and he did that. So there's that, but overall, I mean, I really enjoyed the video. I did. Saiyan Scholar, kudos, you did. There's a reason why you got 10,000 views, 10,000 subscribers versus us. So we barely got 50. But I agree, and again, like I said, this wasn't I guess we were critiquing it or whatnot. I just really wanted to see his take and what he was thinking. I like how he came at it, and everything. I still don't agree with his running joke in the anime. I don't agree. I 100% don't agree in the Z anime. Though he did cover his base because he kept saying the Z anime, because he did not once say Kai or anything like that. But again, there's translation errors and everything, dubbing errors also. So I still don't agree. I don't agree with that, but I really love the presentation. I like his arguments and everything like that. And shit, I would love to bring him on the show. I know we are a very small channel. He'll probably never come, but I would love to bring him and get his 2 cents on some things. Down below, down in the comments down below, you tell us what you thought. If you like this type of things, seeing us watch somebody, because we planning on doing more of this. Next one we might do Masako or something like that. But we plan on doing more reaction to Dragon Ball YouTubers. Probably not that motherfucking geek there, but. Excuse me. But down below, tell us if you like that type of thing, and give the video a like and all that junk, and help us get to 100 subs.
Yes, please.
We will catch you later.